Welcome back to Transcriber from Reddit. Today's topic actually is a website read, which is an update on the Ryan Borgward case. From CNN.com, titled, Wisconsin kayaker who faked his death and fled to Eastern Europe is in custody, online records show, by Associated Press, updated 9:59 Eastern Standard Time, Wednesday, December 11th, 2024. Below that, we see an image of the suspect in question, Ryan Borgward, white male in orange clothing. Underneath the image reads the caption, Ryan Borgward is being held in the Green Lake County Jail after being booked on December 10th. Online jail records show. Source, Green Lake County Sheriff. I begin reading the article. Bold, Green Lake, Wisconsin, parentheses, AP, end parentheses, end bold. A Wisconsin man who faked his own drowning, linked here, and left his wife and 3 children to go to Eastern Europe is in police custody, online records show. Ryan Borgward, 45, was booked into the Green Lake County Jail on Tuesday afternoon, according to the Victim Information and Notification Everyday System, a service that provides information to crime victims such as a person's jail custody status. No charges were listed. The Green Lake County Sheriff's Office said Tuesday in a social media post that a news conference would be held Wednesday morning to update the Borgward case. The post said no further information would be provided until then. A person answering the phone at the sheriff's office Tuesday night declined to confirm whether Borgward was in custody. County jail officials didn't immediately return a phone message Tuesday night. Side note, I did verify this also through the Victim Information and Notification Everyday System, which will be linked in the description below. And I will show you the screenshot in a little bit to verify that. He is in custody. Given that he's in custody, the likelihood is that he was catfished and that the woman wasn't real. Still feel for his wife and kids, though. They didn't deserve their husband and father doing that to them. I continue reading. A person answering the phone at the sheriff's office Tuesday night declined to confirm whether Borgward was in custody. County jail officials didn't immediately return a phone message Tuesday night. Last month, Sheriff Mark Podol said Borgward began communicating with authorities on November 11th after disappearing for 3 months, but that he hadn't committed to returning to Wisconsin. Podol said police were, quote, pulling at his heartstrings, end quote, to come home. He suggested Borgward could be charged with obstructing the investigation into his disappearance. Borgward told authorities last month that he faked his death because of, quote, personal matters, end quote, the sheriff said. He told them that in mid-August he traveled about 50 miles from his home in Watertown to Green Lake, where he overturned his kayak, dumped his phone, and then paddled an inflatable boat to shore. He said he picked that lake because it's the deepest in Wisconsin. After leaving the lake, he rode an electric bike about 70 miles through the night to Madison, the sheriff said. From there, he said he took a bus to Detroit, then boarded a bus to Canada, and got on a plane. The sheriff said at the time that investigators were working to verify Borgward's description of what happened. The sheriff's office has said the search for Borgward's body, which lasted more than a month, cost at least $35,000. The sheriff said that Borgward told authorities that he didn't expect the search to last more than 2 weeks. Here ends the CNN article. Here we see the screenshot I took. Ryan Allen Borgward, age 45, male, white. Date of birth, start out here. ID number, start out here. Custody status date, December 10th, 2024 at 5:03 p.m. Central Standard Time. custody status in custody, Green Lake County Jail, and the book date was December 10th, 2024 at 4:56 p.m. Central Standard Time. Location is Green Lake County Jail, and reporting agency is Green Lake County Sheriff's Office. Considering the time was right at 5 o'clock on Tuesday, December 10th, I wonder how they communicated to the suspect that they wanted to meet him and how they arranged that. Because that would be the time that they arrived at the jail. Did the subject fly back in the morning and then get picked up by the detectives from Green Lake County? Did he fly back and then meet the Green Lake authorities elsewhere? Maybe towards the afternoon, and then they booked him right after? Did they talk to him before or after the booking? I'm interested to see how far this goes in getting, both in terms of what Green Lake County will do to pursue getting the refund for the costs of the initial investigation, which was over $35,000, and what charges would they use to get that money back. That is interesting to me. In regards to the press conference, I haven't yet seen a video of it. However, posted by WKOW.com is an article said to be going over the details from the press conference. Again, feature item is a photo of Ryan Borgwart in his jail outfit, orange jail outfit. I begin reading the article. Green Lake County, Wisconsin, parentheses, WKOW, end parentheses. The man who faked his own death and fled to Europe before returning to the U.S. did so on his own, according to Green Lake County Sheriff Mark Podol. Podol shared new details in the case, which started as a search for a missing kayaker during a press conference Wednesday. Quote, "We brought back a dad on his own accord," end quote, the sheriff said. According to Green Lake County jail records, Ryan Borgwart, 45, was booked into the jail just before 5 p.m. Tuesday. He's awaiting his initial court appearance later today, parentheses Wednesday, end parentheses. Borgwart has a wife and 3 children in Wisconsin. Podol said Borgwart is facing an obstructing charge, but further details have not been released. Podol wouldn't share the details of where exactly Borgwart was in Europe or the path he took to come back to the U.S. Quote, "He's cooperated with us," end quote, the sheriff said. Quote, "He came back to the U.S., parentheses, on his own, end parentheses, end quote. Podol wouldn't elaborate, but said the sheriff's office briefly spoke with the family. Quote, "I can only imagine how they feel," end quote, he said. Podol said he is, quote, "relieved," end quote, and, quote, "very proud," end quote, of the outcome. The sheriff said no one else is facing charges in the case. Authorities say Borgwart staged an overturned kayak in Big Green Lake in August, biked to Madison, boarded a bus to Detroit, and then to the Canadian border, and continued by bus to an airport in Canada, where he got on a plane. And then here is a link that is titled "Sheriff Pleads for Missing Kayaker to Return Home After Fake Disappearance," written by Evan Bolin. I continue reading. Investigators believe Borgwart went to Eastern Europe. Authorities believed Borgwart had drowned in the lake and searched relentlessly for him for 54 days. The Green Lake County Sheriff's Office had been in contact with Borgwart since November 11th. Below that is another link for another article titled "That Was a Big Turning Point. Green Lake County Sheriff Makes Contact with Missing Kayaker, Details How He Fled the Country," written by Carolyn Back. Here ends the article. What neither of the articles mention is that Borgwart's family, his wife and children, are nominally wells. What I am interested in here is what will happen to Borgwart's wife and children now that their dad has come back. Will they be pressured to take him back as their dad? Will they be told to forgive and forget? Will they be told that they need to constantly forgive and forget because that's what Christ would do? And they want to be like Christ, so therefore they should just forget the fact that their father abandoned them, pretended to be dead, went over to Eastern Europe, and only came back because apparently the sheriff's office wanted him to. I'm also curious if the sheriff's office worked with the pastor who was counseling the family during the man's disappearance. Was there a pastor working with the family as they were grieving the loss of the man they knew as their husband/dad, only to find out that he was still alive and lied to them? And if so, how is the pastor working with the police? Is the pastor trying to still counsel the family? Or maybe the pastor isn't trying to counsel the family because, for reasons unknown, the family either declined to have a pastor counsel them, or they're turning to another religious counselor for help, or maybe they're going to secular counseling. My hope is that they go to secular counseling for very specific reasons. Secular counseling is less likely to encourage them to accept the dad back with open arms and with manipulation tactics, trying to have them use forgiveness as a tool to wipe their memories and pretend that their dad never did this, that their dad never hurt them. Because the wife teaches in a WELS school, my impression is that she probably has a pastor either at that school or at the church where they attend, or perhaps a pastor friend of the family that is counseling them and that is potentially looking to reconcile the family back to the man that is her husband and the kid's dad. That is pure speculation. I don't know for sure. I'm basing this off of another case that I'm looking at where a daughter was sexually assaulted by her dad, and the pastor who served, or who was at the church where the dad served on the board of, he was working with the dad and the cops allegedly to get the dad a lighter sentence. It's not unknown, it's not uncommon. Like I said, I hope that isn't the case, and it is speculation on my part, but it's not an unknown possibility for it to happen. I would not blame neither the kids nor the wife for wanting to distance themselves from their dad and husband, respectively, and for them to decide to permanently separate themselves from this man. All that is to say, thank you for watching / listening to this update, and I will see you.